Taco, why'd you say you were beating your meat to scissor, bro?
He
Hey,
didn't say,
nah, bro. It was a typo. I got hacked. I got hacked.
You were speaking.
Oh, I got hacked. It's okay.
Oh my
voice my
fucking god, man! Why'd she delete
five.
that picture so damn fast?
No worries. I got the
Damn,
screenshot, my boy.
She had
you're a
it up
nasty.
there for 3 minutes.
You're a nasty nigga. Hold on, let's
More
see.
than enough. More than enough for me to do my business. I'm
What?
just saying.
Like, how do, is
Oh,
it like
yeah.
instant for you to just like screenshot something?
Sometimes you get that sense, especially if it's SZA. Come on now.
There's a nigga in the comment that one of the other pictures. He said, she said, bring back the. He said, bring it back. Nigga, bean. He
It's
beaming.
probably Taco's all.
I feel it. I feel it.
Oh nah.
Bro,
A lot of people got alts, and I'll just say that a lot of people got alts.
What
but
the
no,
fuck? What is wrong with this nigga, man?
bro, I didn't know they fucking canceled that shit in Houston. That Playboy Cardi thing. They were going crazy and they canceled the whole thing. I feel bad for them niggas.
I saw some shit that some nigga skipped parole to go to that show, and Cardi didn't even show up.
what?
Yeah.
Oh no.
He was like, "Yeah, bro, my curfew was at 9 p.m. Bro, it's 10, bro," and they all started cheering, and Cardi didn't show up. That nigga went
Yeah,
to jail for no reason.
But I mean, he's been late to every show, I think, or something like that. It's just that
Like,
them
Cardi
niggas
is notoriously late.
they were fighting or something. They were like fighting, and the police were like, "Nope, y'all going home," and shut
But
the
yeah,
whole.
no, I heard they closed because people were rushing to the gates and like before they
Yeah,
even opened, and that's literally the reason why they like shut down. Like that's.
What?
I mean, I get it. People are just stupid.
they always do it. Because I have a mutual on Twitter. I didn't went to school. I think I went to school with her in high school actually, and she was like, "Yeah, I was pissed. I was looking forward to this shit all week, and just for this shit to happen." I said, "Damn, I feel bad." I asked her if she got a refund. She didn't reply, so I don't think they got refunds either. They fucking down.
Fuck
Terrible.
no. Once you pay for that shit, they don't give a fuck about you.
Damn,
Right,
man.
just like my fucking Isaiah Rashad concert, bro. Like literally, like 3 songs of Isaiah Rashad. Boom, brainstorm. We all gotta go. I did not see a nickel back, bro. No
What the
nickel back.
hell?
It
What? How much did you pay?
was like $45, $50
$45.
plus the
That's not
train,
that bad.
which is like another 20.
What the fuck?
Plus the subways, plus
Oh yeah, when you start
nice little
adding shit
alcoholic
in
drink. Hell yeah, that shit at least $100 I spent that day.
Jesus
to
Christ.
just show up and then they canceled it immediately.
Not immediately. I mean, they had like 2 opening acts, and then like two. We got like J Rock, SZA came out for like a single song. Isaiah Rashad performed like 4 songs max, and that's it. Till we had to go, but there was at least an hour left of the show.
Wait. See, y'all were outside. Y'all weren't inside.
No, I mean they
Yeah,
canceled the
it was
show.
a rooftop. It's a rooftop place next to the Baldwin.
Oh, I would say like, why the rain stop it? But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did you get to see SZA?
Yeah, she came. She came out like she did like a song, with Isaiah Rashad, and literally like they were about to perform like another song, like literally right after that song, and then that's like Isaiah Rashad was like, "Yo, we gotta end the show. It's storming. It's raining. We gotta end the show." Literally like blue balls. Like I saw one song of SZA, and that's it.
Bro, that's so ass. I would just ran. I would ran on stage and did my thing. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, yo,
Wait, what the fuck does that
what are
mean?
you talking about?
Wait a
I
second.
mean, me too. Shit.
What
But
do
what are
you-
you talking about, bro?
What do you mean run on stage and do your thing?
I mean,
Done my thing.
take the microphone.
Nigga, don't just re-say the sentence. What would you have done to SZA?
You know.
No.
No,
What?
bro.
Oh my fucking. Why y'all niggas
Oh my
feeding over this girl, bro?
Hey, bro.
Nah, we about to have that.
Nigga, it was you talking. You screenshotted the picture she
What
had
do
up for
you mean?
30
You got no
seconds,
evidence?
bro.
What
Oh
evidence,
my
bro?
god, this
Where's the
nigga, bro.
screenshot?
Y'all
We
are
about to have the
fiending.
horniest. Bro, we about to have the horniest podcast to date. I'm doing my thing this episode. I don't give a fuck.
What are you doing?
I just want to know what you mean by
Boy.
going upstairs and doing it.
You
Do
know.
your thing.
Oh my
Yes, sir.
god, y'all are under arrest.
Shit, yo, me and Jez halfway at. Dap up. Hey,
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
halfway on your way to fucking jail. Why are you saying shit like that?
what are you talking about? I'm
Yeah.
just talking about taking the microphone and singing, bro. They cut up the concert.
Karaoke.
Yeah, what you gonna sing? What you gonna sing? Ah,
I'm
I'm gonna sing something high pitch,
I'm for sure getting
What?
my
getting what?
nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Yeah,
Yeah. We have so much sadness to talk about this episode. Y'all niggas want to start it off horny.
We're not having a horny episode? Fuck, man.
Bro, niggas are dying, bro. Alec
Who's-
Baldwin out here
people-
killing niggas like a damn serial killer. Everybody's
Die every
dying.
day, bro. Die
Fuck.
every day.
Bro, but Alec Baldwin is out killing niggas. He don't care anymore.
Are we surprised?
Is he in jail? Is he in jail
Alec-
yet?
Hell
nah,
no.
Nah, he's
Man,
not
They
getting
talked about that
charged.
shit for a day, and they're like, "Nah, you good to go, bro. You got it."
hell no. I gotta see this shit now.
What you
I
mean?
mean, like, listen. Some
I'm-
people are like, I understand it, like when it comes to, people wanting him to get punished or whatever. But listen, well, the other side of it, him not wanting to get punished because it's the people in charge of the weapons, blah blah blah. But like, I don't see any reason why he would fire a prop gun at the cinematographer, even in their direction. Like, how does that make sense? Like, he would have to be pointing at her, and like the director would have to be right next to her in order for them to get injured or killed. Like, if you're doing it, like if you're doing it in scene, if you have to fire it in scene, then the fellow actor or actresses would get hurt. But why did the cinematographer get killed, and why did the director get shot?
Get
That's my
that
question.
nasty ass nigga out of here. Did
Alec
y'all hear what the
Baldwin.
movie was about?
It's
The
called
movie,
Rust.
the movie was about fucking. All right, so there's this dude that's trying to get his son off a falsely accused murder or an accidental murder.
I see. He took the road to heart.
It's
Okay.
literally the exact same thing that happened.
Okay, I respect it.
People are fucking savages because not even 12 hours, bro. I saw that news. I was hanging out with my boy. I saw that news. We were in the car talking. And I dropped him off. We had a meal or whatever. I dropped him off. I saw the news on my phone. That was like 11 p.m., bro. I got home. It was like 12 o'clock. They already had them damn TikTok memes. Like, you're Alec Baldwin. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Wait, what were they saying on TikTok?
It was like a meme. It was like, oh, when you tell your girl that you only fire blanks, and then it morphs
Oh
the
my-
dude's face to like Alec Baldwin. Like, what
What
the
is
fuck?
wrong
Like, not
with
even- not even an
niggas?
hour, bro.
Why did they think
Why
of that
is it
shit so
cold?
damn fast? What is wrong with these
I have
niggas?
no idea.
Nah, but you gotta realize is that like I mean they already said that on Twitter like anything can be made a joke, like anything can be made. Like, if people are joking about 9/11, they're joking about anything. Like it don't fucking matter. Niggas just it's
This
just crazy.
is so funny how niggas just don't give a fuck about anything. Like, what is wrong with these niggas, man?
Man, they
Like,
don't
somebody just died and niggas are making jokes and shit about it.
Rest in peace, though. That's gotta suck. Like,
give a fuck.
she posted on her Instagram, I think the day before, like so excited to work on the movie and everything,
Fuck.
and she like gets killed the next day. Like that fucking sucks. So like thoughts to her family and the family of everyone involved, because that's just fucking wild. I can't imagine.
While we giving out rest in peace, also rest in peace to Snoop Dogg's mom. She just passed away like 30 minutes ago. For sure, rest in peace and prayers for that family. Condolences. That's a huge hit. Fuck.
Rest in peace. I think he's like, or like the way he put it, like he probably not expected it, but he was like, it's kind of like how when your grandpa passed, it was like he like I bet she like was like preparing him for it. So I'm pretty sure they're doing their thing.
The thing
So
is,
rest in
whenever you
peace.
start getting older, I think your family is kind of always prepared for it. Especially like I think they said she was 90 something. Like you're for sure preparing for something if that's that early for sure.
I think Snoop used to put her in like, I don't know if he did like, it's maybe just like a false memory that's coming up, but I'm pretty sure he had her in like his like own shows or like skits or whatever that he's done. I'm pretty sure I've seen like her face before because I know you sent the link. But yeah, now rest in peace.
Yeah, that's Uncle Snoop. So it's just like somebody that's just so big. Like it's just crazy. Whenever you see human like stuff happen to them, because shit can happen to anybody. Yeah, for sure. Rest in peace to his mom. Shit, I guess we go ahead and introduce this shit. What is good, y'all? This is the Here and Now podcast. We finally got a fucking name for this shit. We got Taco. We got Jazz. What's good, family?
Yes, sir. What's good?
Pop, what's poppin'? How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, hell no.
It's the Here and Now
Oh,
podcast.
y'all on
We
some
gotta
other
start it up.
shit. Y'all on some, what was
It is 8:12 p.m. on the East Coast, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, we have Jez, we have Taco, we have Paul the
Yes,
Only.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Who the fuck is our damn audience? Zombies? Why are you screaming like that?
Oh, it's Halloween next week. Barely.
You right. Yes, sir. We gonna start with highs and lows. Who going first this time?
You go first. You never go first.
I went first last week.
No, you did not.
I last.
Yeah. Look at you lying.
Fuck.
For sure, sneaking your ass.
All right, well, lows. I guess Jez trying to sneak me. I didn't even have a fucking low, bro. But my high trumps probably any high that I've had. I released merch this week. About fucking time, bro. I'm very satisfied.
That shit clean, you know? It's clean.
Drop in the comments. What color hoodie? What color
Fanny pack.
All that shit. Hoodies, backpacks, all that shit, bro. But yeah, I'm very, very satisfied with that shit. Worked all night on that shit. And finally glad for that shit to be out. Thank God. Yeah, I don't really have any lows, honestly. My lows kind of just work because it was so fucking stressful this week. But other than that, no, I'm good, honestly. What about y'all?
Is this next week gonna be the same? Like with how much you're working, or they're gonna be lining up the load?
Nah, it's just that certain weeks we gotta cook like way fancier food, and it just takes a lot longer for some reason. So it's just, I mean, like sometimes we gotta either make sometimes we do normal shit like hot dogs, grilled cheese, fries, green beans, asparagus, shit like that. But then we gotta do fucking like swordfish and shit the next week. Like it's just stupid shit sometimes, but it just depends on the workload of the week, honestly. But I mean, other than that, I had a pretty good week. Just stressful.
Are you any closer to like finding another alternative instead of working, or not yet?
I mean, I'm not really looking because it's a good job. But I mean, if I find somewhere that works from home, like if somebody just so happens to tell me that, oh yeah, bro, you get this job right here and you barely got to do anything, you get paid like $20 an hour, bro. Then I'm for sure taking that shit. But I mean, right now, I don't think there's any better alternatives unless something just falls in my feet. Which, I mean, at that point, it's just the world speaking, so.
Yes, sir.
What about y'all? How y'all doing?
Let's go. Taco, you go, bro. Yes, sir.
I always gotta go second. All good. But so yeah, no, this week I'm gonna start off with the low. Listen, low. I am still. I don't know if y'all could tell. It's getting a little bit better, but I'm still sick as shit. I mean, not necessarily sick. I just have like a cough because I had like a whole ass. What was it? Like a whole ass cold last week. I thought it was COVID. I went to get tested. That shit is not COVID. So it's just another nuisance. Just annoying right now. But that's what it was. As far as the lows goes, of course, I still have this cough. Apparently, it's like I checked the CDC website, all that shit. Apparently, it's like after your last cold symptom, like 7 to 10 days. Now it was like 10 to 14 days actually. After the last cold symptom is when your cough is gonna go away. So I had my last cold symptom last Sunday, so it's been 7 days. So if nothing changes from like now till like Wednesday or like the end of the week, I might be. I don't know. Shit. Hopefully, shit goes away. This shit fucking sucks. Anyways, that's my low.
I mean, do you know why you're sick? What is it?
Nah, it was just literally right now. I don't have anything. I don't have a fever. I don't have anything. It's just a cough. So I be coughing sometimes, like just a little bit, and like it's like spurts during the day, and then like usually at night, like when I was in the VC with Jez earlier, I was like coughing, dying because for like a good 5 minutes. It got bad. Yeah, I mean it's just that, but no, I had like a cold like last week. It was just like sniffles. Phlegm, throat hurting, all that shit. Like right now, it's literally just cough.
Pee burns, shit like that. Normal shit.
Huh?
Wait, you said sniffles, fever, pee burning, headache, all that shit, bro.
Nah, I didn't say pee burning, but anyways, the high, yeah, let me think. It's been a long ass week, so I'm trying to think of a high. I would just say my high is probably just taking it easy. The past few days, especially with the cough. My dumbass went out last week to chill and hang out, just go to a little bar too, just mac around, talk to a few people. Yeah, so that shit was not a good idea because I was fucking sweating, dancing, and everything, and then I got outside. It was fucking 3 degrees, so that shit definitely did not help. Anyways, that's probably my high. It's just taking it easy the past few days. Jazz, tell me how you been, bro.
What's good, Jazz?
I ain't gonna hold you. This week was kind of ass to like
Damn.
maybe Saturday. I was in like a huge low. Like y'all know me. I don't be coming on here trying to just bring all the negative and bad energy to nobody in here because I know we all dealing with our own separate stuff. But I don't know. I was just in a rut, just in my own head too much. Just I don't know. I just felt lost. I ain't gonna. I just felt lost. But then I think like whenever we have like that's why I look forward to like the weekends in here because we always do like at least like one like big group thing. So I won't say Friday because Friday we watched that movie. That shit was kind of
Nah, y'all are saying that y'all like that shit. Don't try to act like you're scared now.
I fell asleep during the
I
last
was
half hour.
scared. I wasn't scared. I was just like over it by like
Nigga, I was scared. I'm not even afraid to admit that shit. What the fuck was that damn movie? I'm not even gonna say that shit on here because I mean, if y'all are there, y'all are there. But we watched some torture porn. Basically, that shit was crazy.
That shit was way too much. But Saturday was fire. That's what brought my because we were playing Minecraft and shit. We were doing our thing. That shit was fun. So when we have stuff like that, it kind of brings me up. I'm hoping that Corey still posts Super Scary Sunday. That shit is always cool to watch. But yeah, I feel better now. But like up till Friday, I don't know. Especially this week. This week I had a week off of school because of fall break. So I've been chilling at home since Monday. I don't know. I was just lost.
Wait, it's like try to elaborate on that. What do you mean? Or what do you mean by lost?
I was being my own two head. Cause I'm stuck at home and stuff. Cause I'm still in the new city. I'm in San Antonio, so I don't really know people here. And I wasn't really going out too much and during Houston either, obviously, because that was when COVID was still like, at its peak. But now that I'm going to school in person and everything, I'm in San Antonio, so like, I mean, of course, COVID's still going on, but it's not as prevalent. I don't think it's as prevalent over here. I know you said like Georgia was peaking when like a few months back, but I think like COVID finally is maybe like stabilizing. I don't want to say it's decreasing or nothing, but of course, still wear your mask and everything.
Yeah, I don't hear about that shit at all over here anymore. But I mean, media is just so selective about what they talk about. But that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess just being stuck at home and stuff and not being able to get out. I'm still trying to get my license fully. Because COVID put a stop to that too. Like COVID really just like messed up a lot of stuff that I didn't think I was gonna touch. Like it took me like 2+ months just to get my new Social Security card. Like it just fucked up a lot of like just processes. So I'm just still like trying to just get back on track with everything. I should have my license. That's another thing too. Cause I'll try to schedule my appointment to get my permit over here in San Antonio, but they're not. There's talk. I guess because my sister always said that San Antonio is very, very lazy compared to like Houston or other cities. I didn't know what she was talking about until I was trying to set an appointment, and they're talking about like the first one they can give to me is all the way in December. But when I was in Houston, they were saying that like I could schedule one like the next day at any time. So I was like, how is it over here that y'all talking about some? I have to schedule an appointment to and the appointment's not long. It's like you just go in there, you bring all your stuff, you give it to them, they give you your permit. So it's like, why is it taking that long to like December, almost January even of next year? But if I was in Houston right now and I go schedule an appointment, I can schedule one tomorrow, the next day after that, the same day even sometimes. So that's kind of like, so I have to wait till I go back to Houston in November for Thanksgiving and get my permit finally. And then hopefully by like Christmas time, I have my license finally. I really need it so for my next semester, so I can start driving myself to school and stuff. It's I guess it's a bunch of things to worry about and stuff like that. But I'm doing better now. That's the best. I guess that's what matters most.
Yeah, these ruts definitely suck. I mean, when they say when it rains it pours, like I used to think that was bullshit, but like when one bad thing happens in your life, 25 bad things come right after that. Like
Murphy's Law.
Yes, bro. Like whatever will go bad will definitely go bad. So like that's why we all gotta be here for each other, man. I mean, I don't want you to feel like you can't bring your problems to us because you think it'll bring negativity to us. Like we definitely still want to hear if you're going through anything. I mean, you don't gotta like be scared for our energy and stuff like that if you're feeling bad. That's what we're here for at the end of the day, just for you to talk to, even if it's something small. I mean, I tell y'all about small shit all the time, but it's just we gotta be okay with talking to each other, especially as men, especially as black men. Further than that, but definitely, I'm glad you're feeling a lot better.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure, for sure. All right,
About
y'all.
your
We got
highs,
a
Chris.
yeah, yeah. It had your highest. Well, you said it was the
Oh
movie night thing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
not the
good.
movie night, but the Minecraft night. Fuck that movie night.
That movie was some other shit.
But we
God
don't go back
damn.
down at here. Let's go back to a Caroline, bro. Caroline or something. Child's Play. Child's
Yeah,
Play.
just
That's
to explain what we doing, like we're not just watching just weird ass movies for no reason, y'all. Like just so you know, I'm gonna kind of explain it. We found this iceberg of like bad movies, but not bad movies, but scary movies. Tier one was like your Screams, your Insidious, stuff like that. Tier two is your Human Centipedes, and now we're on tier four, and that I might tap out right now because like this is damn near like actual real scuff shit. Like I don't know what the fuck is going on. Niggas were just in there like, man, this shit not even real, man. I love this shit. Do it again, do it. Like what the fuck? Are y'all
Give me
good?
tier 12. Give me tier 12. Tier 12.
What is wrong with these niggas? If that was tier four and there's like 5 more left, nigga, I don't know, bro. I might just peer in the VC and just do some other shit. I ain't gonna hold you.
nah. We going back down to tier. I'm not because thing is, it's better when we're all in the like when all the kids in VC too, and like we watching we can all watch a movie together. That's just more fun, anyways. That shit was fucking whack.
It was
Like
just fucking scary. What do you mean? I could barely even like. I couldn't even wrap my mind around what the fuck I was seeing. Like I have never seen some shit like that in my damn life.
I haven't either. Let me not say like, oh yeah, I've watched the show all the time. I haven't either. But I guess I'm just so desensitized. I've seen like not similar things, but I've seen like crazy shit. I'm just random. Like I'd be on Twitter. I told you about that. That's why like that one day when it happened, I was trying to tell you. I wasn't trying to like tell you like extensively because it was it's some traumatic shit. But there was some like I guess this homeless man climbed up a crane. I don't know how. But he climbed up a crane all the way to the top and he fell off that shit. That shit was the most like, what the fuck?
He jumped.
And he hit the yeah, no, he just fell off. Like I guess he was like they said he was like, drunk or like was out of it. He was climbing that shit like it was like some goddamn monkey bars and then fell off that bitch and just hit the ground in the middle of the freeway. I was like, what the fuck? That shit was the most horrific shit.
Did y'all hear like just speaking on recording and shit like that? Did y'all hear about what the fuck happened I think it was New York this week. I'm pretty sure it was New York. About apparently there was this woman on this subway with a lot of people and like this man came up and just started, trigger word and everything, but he just started R-wording her just like in front of everybody, and all the people were doing was just sitting there was recording it. Nobody jumped in and stopped. Like at first he was just sexually harassing her and like grabbing her and stuff. But then this man started just full on doing it in front of everybody, and everybody was just recording it instead of stopping him. What the fuck is going on to where niggas are just watching that happen and recording it?
I never understood that shit. I get when that people say like, oh, like when the police officer is doing some shit and they record instead of going at because the nigga has a gun, he can shoot you. I get that part, but like something like that, that's like I'm punching that nigga. Like what the fuck? Like what are we doing? Like why are we letting that shit happen? Like what the hell?
I just feel like
a lot of it has to
humans.
do with. I was just gonna say a lot of it has to do with. It's like a psychological type of thing because I remember learning this in school. Something about like bystander intervention. Like, they did like a bunch of studies apparently of people. I'm not sure if it was people in like apartment buildings or, there was something happening outside and people were just turning on their lights, looking outside. At this person getting attacked and something that, like I guess it's like I said, it's like a psychological thing. Like you have to, like the person getting attacked, the person, the victim involved, like they said that that person has to like tell the bystanders like, hey, you, pointing at them like, oh, call 911 or blah 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 blah, for people to take initiative, because if people don't do that, like aren't called out to take initiative, they'll just watch, obviously, whether it's in shock or whether they're too scared to get involved or scared to get hurt in this case as well, or get person doing the R wording will turn back and attack them. A lot of this is just you're gonna have to, you kind of just have to snap out of it and do something. Even if, listen, obviously the best thing to do in any type of harm situation, any type of situation where you might see like harm, is you know you're gonna want to avoid that. Obviously, it's just like a human instinct just to avoid harm, to avoid danger, anything like that. But at times like this, we honestly just have to turn off that little switch and just go for it, honestly, because you know if it was your like younger sibling, it was like younger cousin getting attacked or whatever, and other people were just watching on, how are you going to feel, or even if it was yourself, you're going to want people to step in, do the work, just, try to either get the person off of them or, one, obviously call 911, call the cops, whatever. Yeah, in that type of situation. So obviously, tread lightly when it comes to that, because if a person has, let's just say, a knife or a gun, in that case scenario, there's really, little to nothing that you can do. Obviously, you definitely don't want to, get killed or hurt. But obviously, if the person, that's if, you see like a weapon on the person. Obviously, you want to get out of there, call the cops, do what you have to do, report that shit. But yeah, I just, as like a word of advice, I guess, just don't be afraid to help out, because in some cases it is going to be life or death for other people. You might be okay, that other person might have a weapon, they'll be on top of them attacking them. But if you do one little thing like push them out the way or try to punch them or pepper spray them, anything like that, it can make a difference. So just, I would always say, always be alert, always look out for your fellow human, you know, just keep your eye out, honestly. And it's fucking crazy, especially in the cities. And I'm not sure how it is in small towns, when it's like public transportation and shit like that. But I know big cities are crazy when it comes to stuff like that.
That's just such a scary thing to think about. Like, if you can ever be in danger, especially on a subway. I mean, I understand like how scary it'd be if like you got attacked or something in the alley and there was nobody there around you. But like, just imagine getting attacked on the subway and there's just like 50 niggas just standing there watching it happen with their phones out. Like, I would feel so helpless, embarrassed, and like just like mad at the human race after that shit. Like, even if it's like a psychological reason, I know for a fact, like, if you say you have to like point at somebody directly and tell them to help you, there is no damn way she wasn't screaming help, and they were all just standing there with their phones out. And apparently they were like posting it, because like, I didn't watch the video, but I definitely saw a video circulating around Twitter and shit like that, because Twitter is just a damn smorgasbord of just bad shit that shouldn't ever touch the online shit. Like, damn, bro, like, you telling me one nigga out of everybody on Subway didn't stop that man from doing that? And he was able to just walk away, and then the only thing that they can do is just like, well, at least I got the footage of his face. Here you go, police. I did my job. Like, nigga, no, you're doing your job as helping the girl from what's happening. That's so damn scary, bro. The human race is just, I mean, it's you can be proud of it sometimes, but like sometimes when it gets like shit like this, I hate that shit, bro. Help her. That shit's so fucking whack.
Yeah.
I mean, besides that story, man, I'm gonna get mad as fuck talking about that shit, but I ain't gonna hold y'all. We got like 25,000 different topics to cover this week, because wherever it was, I don't know if it was just me, but this week felt like a damn month. Like, this week went long as hell, bro, and this kept seeming like bad shit, not bad shit, but like thing after thing after thing after thing kept happening. Cause like, I swear I sent like 25 articles to the little group chat that me, Taco, and Jazz are in. That shit was going wild this week. God damn. But I guess we're gonna start off with, what's his name? Brian Laundrie finally was found, but unfortunately, he was found dead. I think they said that they found his body, or remains of his body, inside of a swamp. So unfortunately, her family does kind of get that closure, but honestly, I would have rather them found him alive. I think they're saying that he either committed the S word, or that he was eaten alive by a crocodile. Which I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, that's what Taco told me before we started. Because I haven't been following the case too closely. I don't like cases like this, because it's like really obvious what happens. Of course, that man did some nasty shit, came back home. You already know his parents were hot. I mean, that's their son, obviously. So they're gonna try to protect them the best they could and stuff like that, because that's their son. So you already knew they helped them niggas. But you already know they helped him get away and stuff like that. I don't know why the FBI was acting dumb. I always say, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to bring race into this, but if it was a black man doing that shit, they would caught that nigga so goddamn fast. They let that nigga just run around and play Lucy Daisy with them niggas in the fucking the swamp or whatever.
Yeah.
For way too long in my opinion. And like you said, I've been watching Dante's videos on it too, because he be covering that shit. But like, yeah, I really hope I really hope they caught him alive. I mean, I hope that about everything. To me, like, I don't believe in like the death penalty and things like that. I feel like people should atone for their things, because I don't understand how you take someone's life and then so when they take you in, they bring you into justice. You get to go like the most peaceful way possible. Don't they give you like a last meal, and then they lethally inject you? Everything like that's just like so like pussy to me, honestly. I'm not saying they should bring back the firing squad or nothing like that. Hell no. But I'm just saying like
They
they
got
should
that
put
shit in Texas.
No, I think it was like during like the peak of COVID. There was so many people inside the jail cells. They either had to start releasing people or they had to start offing people. And I guess they were offing people
God
so much
damn.
they ran out of the drug. So they're like, we have to go back to the firing squad. But then of course they was like, fuck no, we're not going back to that firing squad.
Fuck.
I don't know. Texas is a fucking terrible place. I think it was
Texas
some
is the
other
damn Wild West.
Yeah, I think it was some other states too. But of course, like people were like, "Nah, we're not doing that shit." But yeah,
Good.
I mean, like I said, that's how like Americans are so desensitized because like we so used to this shit for real. But
Now, I
for Brian,
definitely agree with you on the little or on the death penalty topic. I'd much rather somebody, get their punishment and suffer the 25 to life or whatever that they have to for killing somebody. I just feel like killing them right after, which I know they do go to jail for a little bit of time, like a year or two after they get in there, but like still like, nah, bro, let that nigga sit in jail for a little bit. Killing him is just the easy way out at that point.
I think there's like a very big dilemma to this topic for me because I'm I'm personally against the death penalty, and the obvious, well, the first option that may come to mind aside from the death penalty is someone, for federal charges to someone who's in something terrible. It's so you always hear, oh, the person faces either the death penalty or life in prison. And for me, there is that dilemma because obviously, one, I don't agree with the death penalty at all. On the other hand, you have something like life in prison, and depending on what prison you're at and what part of the country you're at, a lot of these places have awful, awful fucking conditions. And so something like life in prison and things like solitary confinement, even if it is someone, I guess I would say, depending on what the person might do, because obviously, there's different degrees of crime. There's different degrees of, crimes that people might do, horrible shit. Obviously, those people, I think those people, like Apollo said, has to atone for their actions. And the thing is, for me, that dilemma comes in where, okay, do I want this person to be, in jail, for the rest of their life, and like fucked up conditions, solitary confinement, or that shit just fucks them up mentally, and it's just a whole bunch of things that comes to it. So when it does come to that conversation of death penalty or like the proper punishment someone who does something terrible deserves, there's always that dilemma. So obviously, I'm always gonna want if it comes to that situation for any type of person, like if it's death penalty or life in prison, I always want like, would prefer that person get life in prison. That being said, you have to look into the bigger picture, the conditions of these prisons, the factoring in of solitary confinement, because a lot of these people who are awful people, who do terrible shit, terrible crimes, they literally see sunlight maybe like an hour a day and are literally in a dark room trapped inside, isolated for 23, 22 hours a day. So, when it comes to that, it's just, I feel like it's a bigger conversation, but just overall, that's why I'm kind of like, fuck, like in the whole like life in prison situation. But what do you guys think about that? Have y'all ever like taken that into consideration when it comes to, I know you mentioned that you're against the death penalty and everything, but what do you guys think when it comes to that dilemma?
Well,
nah, oh, you can go. You can go first.
I just mean, for people that choose, okay, so for the people that willingly choose to do bad things to the human race, like killing somebody, R-wording somebody, hurting children in any way, shape, or form, hurting the elderly, like, there's only so much sympathy. Like, I definitely feel love for everybody on this planet. There's only so much sympathy I can give for people that do stuff like that. Like that, I will give them sympathy to the point where I'm saying don't kill them. But like, I can't give them too much sympathy for saying I don't really care if they spend the rest of their life in jail, because like, what if that were to happen to somebody I'm close with? Like, what if somebody were to, do anything to my family, my mom, my sister, anybody? I'd want them to spend the rest of their life in jail. So I got to give the same energy towards people that do it to somebody else's family. Like, I definitely have sympathy for people, even people that have done bad things. But, like, only enough sympathy to where saying, well, you know, I'm glad you're not dead, but you definitely going to be sitting in that ugly ass cell for the rest of your life and thinking about what you did for the next 50 years. I mean, you people only, okay, so only towards people that commit bad things, right? Do the niggas that, like, you know, get arrested for selling grams of weed, small shit like that, do they deserve more than fucking 5 years or whatever the dumbass law is for that? No, hell no. Like, for sure, the murderers, R-worders, people that do stuff to children, for sure, people like that. Yeah, I really could care less if they're in prison or not. For sure, send them away.
For me, I was just having this conversation a couple of days ago. Like, I was like thinking through like the whole process of what I would like my ideal thing would be. I feel the same way like Apollo. Like I know for a fact there's some crazy conditions in prison. They be treating people like whole like it's a zoo almost, like they're animals. They would like treat them very inhumanely. And but I differ from Apollo because it's not. I'm not saying like, oh, I feel sympathy for you, so you shouldn't, you shouldn't die. I don't care. My thing is that if you take someone's life, you know, I'm not saying, oh, don't kill them because they're a human too. I'm not thinking that way. I'm saying like you shouldn't, you shouldn't have the death penalty in the sense of you took someone's life, so you should spend your whole life thinking about that, atoning for that, and like figuring that shit out. I'm not doing that for your benefit. I'm doing that for like the benefit of the family. I'm doing that for the benefit of the human race, etc. And I also wanted to combine that with what's it called? With the psychological aspect. Because these people who, kill people, R-word people, the children, the people who do stuff to children, they have something wrong with them. Obviously, they're not, they're not waking up one day and go, okay, let me do this to someone. Like, I mean, at least I would hope not. I don't know, but even if they do, people who just maybe wake up one day and just start going crazy, they should be looked into. So I feel like that it'd be a benefit for the human race as a whole to take these people into account. Of course, don't kill them, keep them in prison for the rest of their life. But like Taco was saying as well, I'm not saying keep them in solitary confinement because that's not doing anything. Take those people, go to like therapists and psychologists, and like I'm not saying like do human testing, but like talk to them, like like talk to them, maybe like do like humane testing on them and things like that, and see like why their brain does the way it does. Why do they do these things? And maybe you can take that and apply that to like mental health, or apply that to other branches of things of sciences to prevent further things like that happening. Like even people, people who do school shootings and things like that, y'all scream, oh, it's mental health, it's mental ill. He was a troubled kid. Cool. But we're not doing nothing to prevent that. So maybe all these people who are doing this
about the white niggas.
Yeah, well, yeah. But like put your actions where your mouth is. All these people who are doing this crazy ass shit, or like I said, R-wording people and like killing people and all kinds of stuff like that. They're doing that shit for a reason, and not to justify it, but to say there is still a reason behind it, and maybe we can get behind. Like we can, do some testing and see why they're doing that to maybe prevent that, and then apply that to different situations and things like that. Either way, my ground thing is don't kill them. Like I said before, I'm not doing that for no sympathy of some killer or some R-worder or anyone, especially if you do something to children or the elderly or people who are disabled, things like that. Like, nah, like y'all deserve to sit your ass in jail. I do, like Taco said, they should improve the conditions of jail. Not saying it should be fucking like the best thing on earth, but like at least treat them like fucking humans at the end of the day. I understand that point as well, so I get where Taco was coming from. But I mean that's I guess that's not my first priority. My first priority is making sure that they don't just get an easy way out. I never understood that. Like when the people are like, yeah, bro, like we should have the death penalty. I'm like, do you understand what that is? Like someone, for example, will go and kill like 20 people, like 20 kids. Like let's say they go and shoot up a school. You're telling me you would rather them go to some place, they get a last meal, which they can order up to anything up to like a certain price range. I think it's like maybe $10,000. But they can order anything.
They
can
have anything they want.
Anything they want. They can have the best meal on earth, and this, they can sit there and eat or whatever the face. I think they can ask to like watch TV sometimes, shit too, some this dumb shit like that. Like I want to watch Friends while I'm eating my Whataburger or some dumb shit. And then right after that, they get taken to a room and they get lethally injected, and it's like the most peaceful way to die. And like I said, but like that isn't. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not saying, oh yeah, firing squad. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like why come they go and get to kill 20 people and then they get to eat a great meal and just die so passively. I especially I don't get when like, well, I mean, I'm not, let me not even say that. Let me not go there. But yeah, I just don't personally understand that. Like I said, so I don't think any crime is worthy of death penalty in my opinion. Like nothing. They should go sit in jail for the rest of their life and think about it and things like that. But I do think it'd be cool to, not cool, but beneficial to focus on the psychological side and see why they do that, and maybe be able to apply that to our scientists to increase mental health within America. Because there's a lot of fucked up shit in America, and instead of like maybe focusing on prevention, we always focus on, I guess, like reacting to the actions. But yeah, that's my take.
Like 75% of those niggas anyway are like, their plans are to go in there, kill however many people they can, and then clock out at the end of it anyway. They just end up getting caught before they get a chance to do that. So like, if their plans are already to die after they get done doing that, then like you're just letting them get what they want at the end. Like they wanted to die anyway going into that. So like I just don't agree with the death penalty whatsoever. I mean, for sure up the way people are treated inside prison, like with therapy and stuff like that. But like death penalty, like get rid of that shit, bro. Because half these niggas want that. I mean, half these niggas want to die after they do what they do anyway. They can't live with that, so they're like, oh, I mean, at least I finally get to get out this world, and then I'm home scotch free. Like, I mean, and some people believe that, I guess with Christianity, that they can just pray for forgiveness and then can go to heaven anyway. I don't really believe in that aspect of Christianity that much anyway, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, death penalty is stupid as shit, bro. Like, I really don't understand it, but I guess some people do have valid arguments. I've never actually I wish I could really get a chance to hear, like, people's arguments for this stuff that I don't really believe in. Like, an actual person with valid arguments, and it's just somebody that won't just be like, oh, they need to be off this earth anyway. Like, I want to hear, like, an actual valid argument for why people believe the death penalty is good. I want to hear a lot of valid arguments for stuff that the vaccine, shit like that. But again, another topic making niggas mad. You said what?
That's all I heard. It's like things like that. Like, oh yeah, and it's usually from people who are like angry. So I get whether like they're just they're angry. They're not thinking like all the way straight. So like so when the parents are like, yeah, give them the death penalty, I want them off this earth. I don't understand why they're saying that. That's why I said I'm not going to go there. I was going to say, like, why do parents want that? Let me not say that because, they're angry, they're sad, they're going through a lot right now. So who am I to say how they should be wanting their killer of their kid or whatever the case might be to how they're dealt with. So I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, like, I understand the emotional part of it, but I want to hear an argument from somebody that is dissociated from everything.
I've never heard that, but that's something I've never heard like a concrete good argument. It's always like, oh, they should be off this earth anyways, or an eye for an eye. So if they kill someone, they should be killed too. I'm like, well, they're not. That's what they, like you said, that's what they want most of the time. Or or they're so. I mean, thing is, they're so demented or fucked up that they don't care. They just killed like 20 people, and maybe like they are worded like another 15. I'm pretty sure death is at the least of their worries. They're way out of it at that point. So believe me, you killing them is not doing it. But they'd be dying with a smile on their face. Like they don't care. They're crazy.
They're chilling. So
that's what I'm saying. They should go into prison and, be looked at and stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All right, let me paint a scenario for you. Would you be okay? Let's say we have like a Ted Bundy or somebody of that magnitude that everybody's heard of, Zodiac killer, stuff like that. Somebody that's killed at least 10 people plus. R word, all that shit. If they were to go in jail and genuinely get the therapy that they need and genuinely became a good person and no longer like they were to begin with, and they spent 10 years in jail, they completely changed a new leaf. I'm speaking like this is an entirely new nigga. Like he went in Ted Bundy and he came out like a regular nigga like one of us. Would you be okay with him getting out of jail?
No, I thought about that too. Like I don't care about all that. Like I said before, you took a life, so your life is gone. But I'm not saying you should die or nothing. You can you can rehabilitate. Yeah, do all that stuff and better yourself and grow as a person. Cool, but you're gonna do that inside jail because you lost that privilege. Once you take a life, you lost that privilege to your own life, and that's like I said, not to kill, like not to to be killed, but to live life on the outside and live life freely. You have to live your life inside jail. You could be a saint cool, great, good for you. But you still killed somebody, so sorry. That's how I see it.
I'm like kind of I wouldn't say on the fence when it comes to that. I do agree with Jez to a point. Um, Obviously, it's just using the example you used, Apollo, when it comes to, if it is someone who, committed a horrible shit, like a bunch of crimes, R words, killing people and everything like that, but is like reformed 10 years later. Um, in that specific case, I don't think the best thing to do would be to release them. If it is, like, the one point I do disagree with Jez is, if a person, like, if a person who takes the life of another, I think depending on the circumstances, definitely, if it's something like, you know, not premeditated, if it's like homicide, if it's like, accidental death, things like that. But moreover, not necessarily accidental, moreover, like the homicide aspect. So not like straight up, like premeditated, like murder or anything like that, because that's a whole different thing. Obviously, you plan out that shit. But something like homicide just like happens. It's just like a in the moment type of deal. So I feel like for those people, because obviously they don't have, to my knowledge, when I hear about like a homicide case, it's like a local thing, and it's not necessarily like a life in prison type of deal. It's usually like, oh, they'll get anywhere from 5 to 15 years, and then they'll be free. Um, I guess I do agree with that because in a sense, you kind of want to hope, and also the people who are in charge of the whole like parole thing when they're about to get out and everything like that. Obviously, they have to have hearings with these people, and obviously by that point, you're gonna want to hope that they reform themselves. So anything like that, I would be okay with them getting out. People who like just do, you know, are like a part of like a homicide. Like if I'm guilty of that, after like 10, 15 years, all right, if they're out, you know, if they're cleared to go out, they can go out. Like I said, so that's just my point of it. I don't think that taking a life of somebody, not necessarily just, even though I used the example of accidental earlier, like just that aside, even people it might not have been an accident, but if it wasn't necessarily premeditated, I feel like those people should at least still have that chance. But when it does come to things that were like premeditated and thought out, it's definitely less easy to kind of like defend or kind of like give them the benefit of the doubt and like allow them to get out 10 to 15 years later, like the same thing as like the homicide case, for example. It definitely is a lot harder because you went in, you did that thing, you plan to do it, you plan to take the life of somebody, so that's a lot different. um I do still think it's maybe something like that, obviously depending on the circumstance, because if it's someone like Apollo, like you mentioned, like, oh, who did all that shit, even if they are you know, if they're like a whole new person, if they're like they're like a saint now, I even after all those crimes, I don't think they should be able to get out necessarily. Maybe if they do, maybe like have them under like under the custody of like a of someone else. I'm not even sure how the logistics or how plausible that is. But no, I mean overall, I just don't think somebody who's gone and done all that horrible shit, even if they are reformed, I don't think they should necessarily be getting out. And on the other hand, like I mentioned before, when it comes to things like homicide cases, I do think there should be these people should at least be given an opportunity to try to reform themselves because they didn't necessarily do anything premeditated, but still face consequence by being in jail or prison, those 10 to 15 years, which is I just in my head I just see that as an average because you hear all these cases that like are happening local or whatever. That's just like what I've heard, like anywhere from 5 to 15 years these people get, people who are like in homicide cases. But that's basically my viewpoint on it. It's just it's more of a case by case type of thing in my head.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I can go as far as to say. I guess I'll answer my own question. Just to give my kind of opinion on it. I can go as far as to say, if somebody becomes completely reformed, I definitely respect them being in there for like 25. But if they're reformed and they are actually a good person now, I just don't think the life thing like should really like. I mean, because I just like put myself in other people's shoes at a certain point. Like if I knew deep down in my heart that I wasn't like a good person now, for sure put that nigga in jail for like 25 years, but like 75 plus, like knowing that I did something. Let's just take our wording and all that out of it. let's just say I was driving. Mom texted me, check my phone right quick. The split second I look at my phone, I hit somebody because they're crossing the street, or maybe a kid like lets a ball roll out in the street and it hits them. Like, I don't think somebody should spend life in prison because of a mistake they made checking their phone because somebody texted them or something like that. Because people are getting 25 to life for that. I mean, of course, like, they definitely still killed somebody. They're definitely still at fault for even being on their phone in the first place. But I just don't think life in jail because of one mistake. I mean, like, if you make a mistake like that, it's over. I mean, as a driver, I don't know if other people do this, but like, I think about that all the time. Like, what if I'm just driving, look at my phone, and then when I look up, I run over somebody? Like, your life is over after that, over an accident. Now, if you're a serial killer, that's a whole different story. But I'm just speaking in like the terms of like accidentally like manslaughter or something like that, because that's just scary to think about. That your life is over in a split second that you do something.
I'll give you all that. When I was talking about like, you know, people who do R word or serial killers or things like that. Of course, like, it's definitely case by case. Like, in an instance like that, then yeah, like, you know, like, let them go to some classes, let them understand, like, you know, you can't text when they're driving. I'm pretty sure they already know that, but it might have been a mistake. They should be in jail. I don't know, like you said, 25 years. That's probably like maybe the average for them. Things like that.
Sure. I don't think it's life if it's like if I don't think if it's life, it's manslaughter. I really don't know, but I know that there are cases where people go to jail for the rest of their life for like an accident like that, or even a false case. But that's another story.
Yeah, but then and then definitely not. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't know if they had this already, but I guess they talk about, like, of course, like, people who do like really crazy stuff will be like put in solitary confinement and things like that. But that's another thing they should do too. Is like they should like actually make, I don't know, that's a whole different podcast. But jail should be more of like a rehab center than what it is now, where it's like, you know, modern day slavery. Like, that's a whole different podcast though. But like people who like, let's say like someone does that, they should go into a jail that's like filled like, or I guess with people like of that nature or who've done like similar things. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they'll probably be putting like people who've done some crazy ass shit, like, oh yeah, I killed 5 people, with people who probably like, yeah, I sold like an ounce of weed. Now I'm in here for 15 years. Why am I rooming with you who's gone and killed like 3 people? So I could be exaggerating. I don't know if that's how it is right now or nothing, but I know like the prison system right now is just like a clusterfuck. Like, they just be doing whatever.
That shit legal, man. Why is weed not legal yet? That's so stupid. And let all the niggas that are in there for weed out.
Absolutely, it's legal in New York, but you know, that shit gotta be legal everywhere.
Bro, like, there's literally studies saying that shit, nothing is wrong with it. I mean, of course, there's niggas that put fentanyl and stuff in there. Arrest those niggas, but like, the niggas that work a long ass, like 8 to 8 shift, want to come home and light a little skunk, like, how you gonna arrest niggas like that live an honest living and then get caught with some weed and then go to jail? Like, that don't even make sense.
It's just because they can't monetize it. That's why. Because they can monetize. Of course, they monetize cigarettes, because cigarettes has been here since the beginning of America. But they can't monetize weed because, you know, it's like usually private people who grow it themselves and they sell it. They can't like make it some, because America hates things they can't monetize. That's why they hate OnlyFans. That's why they hate prostitution and things like that, because they can't monetize that. That's like how you monetize a woman selling their body? You can't. So they hate it. Only like OnlyFans is the only.
Well, so they have like buildings and stuff in Europe. Like, they do that shit.
Yeah. I mean, but isn't that kind of similar to strip clubs, or like it's like different? Like a whole, like they actually have like sex.
Well, in brothels, you go there to have sex. I don't even think stripping, like, it's just go there and then bust a nut and then leave. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, why don't we have brothels here?
Because they can't monetize it. I mean, that's only because well, in America, I'm pretty sure it's a lot harder because there's a lot more laws saying that you can't do stuff like that for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure over in Europe, there aren't even laws to begin with saying that you can't do that.
Because they like controlling women over here. I forgot that.
Yeah, so in Europe, they're like, well, if you're going to do that, we'd much rather you not do it on the street. We have buildings for you if you want to.
Yeah, that's how the thought process should be, because they're gonna do it anyway. So you might as well make it to where it's like, that's why. Safe. Yeah, Taco was. We were just talking about that too, because he was like, we were talking about, I think it was like Wyoming or Montana, like one of those states that made like every drug legal, and he was telling me how like Oregon. For people, Oregon, I guess.
I think it was Oregon, yeah.
he was saying like if they want to take heroin, they go to like a center and you tell them what you want like or something like or what you're gonna take, and they make it to where it's like clean and you have your own space, I guess, to do it. And like I know it's like, well, heroin's still bad for you. Yeah, I understand that, but at least I'd rather than be in a more like I guess like protective, safe space than to do with some dirty needle in their house. So I mean, I understand that, and also to add into it, like I said before, they sell cigarettes in America. Like I said, cigarettes is like the base of America. They sell cigarettes here. Cigarettes is like the worst thing you can take for your body, like one of the, if not one of the worst. So I don't understand why people don't bat an eye at that. Like, oh yeah, whatever, cigarettes are cool, but like when it's weed and when it's not doing
They
nothing
literally
to
give
no,
you cancer.
yeah, like they're literally
Bro, they
can't.
literally advertise that shit in the 40s and 50s to kids.
Yeah,
Fucking smoke
like they had
cigarettes.
that dumbass camel with the glasses and shit. Like, hey, you want to smoke too? Like, nigga, what the fuck? The thing
And the
is,
fucking
like,
Flintstone smoking and shit.
I'm pretty sure with heroin and stuff like that, I think there's a lot more cases of people dying from like accidentally choking on their own throw up and stuff like that. I don't think heroin is like a leading case of the death. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more of the accidental stuff that happens whenever people are high on heroin. I think so. Those safe spaces for people to do stuff like that. Like I definitely don't condone doing heroin and meth and shit like that. But like for a nigga that wants to do heroin and meth, at least give them a safe space to do shit like that. Especially whenever like college professors are coming out. Of course, they're the higher elite and they have money and stuff like that, so they're somehow allowed to do shit like this. When they're coming out making whole YouTube channels dedicated to like, oh yeah, well I'm a functioning heroin addict and I'm just fine and I have a safe space to do it. Like if you got niggas like that, bro, like at least make it safe for the niggas that the world really or the world quote unquote doesn't care about. If you feel me.
Yeah, America just stop criminalizing. I know, like they just need to stop criminalizing people for just being people. At the end of the day, like people do like with abortions and weed and like that's like everyday stuff that people are gonna do regardless. So you might as well make it to where you can still control it in like a safe space, but not like outlaw it or ban it. Because there's no reason why people cannot have abortions. There's no reason why people are going to jail for so long for selling ounces of weed or just possessing it. It is they smoke it at their house, just to relax and chill out. Now they go into jail for 25 years. Like it don't make any sense. So I mean that's just the end goal. It's just
I know we've been talking about crime and everything, but I kind of want to shift it to a little bit of a lighter note. Still crime, a little bit of a lighter note. So I don't know if you guys saw, but I saw an article. It says that a Georgia man was charged with one count of wire fraud for relying on his economic injury disaster loan, which is like and because of the pandemic, like the government did this type of thing where if you have a business, you can sign up for like a loan. Obviously, due to losing business, due to losing customers, you can sign up for like a loan of like I think it's usually up until like $100,000.
Like a PPP loan?
You can ask for the loan, yeah, like PPP loan, shit like that. So this guy in Georgia applied for one, and he used $85,000 of that loan of the pandemic relief money to purchase a Pokemon card worth more than $57,000.
Oh my
Now,
fucking god.
keep in mind, a single card. I'm pretty sure it's like some edition Charizard or whatever, but a single Pokemon card. He used $57,000 of that money for that single card. So if convicted, he could face up to 20 years in federal prison and $25,000 in fines.
Niggas
Now,
lie so much.
bro, my whole thing is like, I mean, we've all definitely heard, like, I don't know if you guys like kept up with like the news, during the whole past few months or whatever, with people in the PPP loans. Like, there's these people like in Florida, like, dude used the PPP loan like $100,000 to buy a Lambo, bunch of shit. People going on private vacations with the PPP loan.
Niggas were going crazy with that loan.
But man, this is something else. Like, this dude definitely trying to catch them all, bro. This dude spent $57,000 of that loan on a single car. Now listen, if you're gonna do some shit like that, not that I'm advocating for no crime, but like at least buy a bunch of packs of the old ones, not just a single card. But I'm just saying, just allegedly, I'm not saying to commit a crime or nothing. But
Bro,
nah,
you just told him to commit a crime.
Like, no, bro, no, that wasn't me. But listen, 20 years in federal prison this dude could face just for that fraud. Now, I mean, I know we talk about the criminal justice system is fucked up, and it is fucked up. But I mean, this dude, yeah, you feel he definitely got to get punished in some way. But I don't know if he got to get sent to jail for 20 years, just for using it wasn't. It's not. I mean, not to like. I'm not offending him or anything like that. But it's just like 20 years just for that.
Now
Like, I
America
mean, I
don't
know
play about
fraud is
their
some fucked
money.
up shit. Absolutely. And the thing is, it's not even the government's money. It's like the people's money. That's where the money comes from for our taxes and all that shit. I don't know. Like, that just goes to show. I mean, like you said, Apollo, America don't play with their money. So I think that's just insane. People are fucking crazy.
I just don't understand. Like, if you was that a whole scam just to buy that one Pokemon card? Like, is that the only reason you did that shit? Like,
That was
niggas
like
just
almost
like,
60K out of 85. I'm sure he kept like another 20,000 to like go on vacation or whatever. But that's a whole 60 grand on a Pokemon card. Come on, bro.
and now
20
he don't
years in
even have
federal
it.
prison? Absolutely.
They probably snatched that shit and ripped it up right in front of him, dumbass nigga.
I mean, think of Pokemon as like we know how Pokemon is. Like, I think what's something they released recently? Like they did like the Pokemon Oreos or something. They had like different designs. People were going great.
Yeah, the Muse, I think.
Yeah, that shit was like Pokemon is. They just know I don't know. They catch a bag any way they can. That shit was so random too. And of course, as soon as I heard that, yeah, there's only a few Mewtwo ones in the world. So yeah, they're about to make an ample bag off this shit.
And, oh
But
my god, this shit is so stupid. Like, Nintendo is gonna find a way to get fucking money all the time. Like, Nintendo will never be broke ever because of stupid shit like that. The thing is, it's always social media that boosts it. Cause like, if a nigga goes on TikTok like, damn, I found this shit and I just got paid $200,000 for it, then Oreos is getting sold out everywhere. Like, niggas are not playing about their money. Like, America doesn't. But then the thing is, if anybody finds out that one thing they can find inside an Oreo pack that costs $2 can get them rich, oh, niggas are gonna buy out that. They're going crazy. That's crazy.
This brings us to why Apollo's not doing. Oh, never mind. He was doing Pokemon cards until he said people started buying up the stores. Never mind.
Yeah, I was, but then niggas started taking that shit. Like, the thing is, the workers were fucking buying that shit back in the back, like before they even hit the shelves. I love opening Pokemon cards, but it's just the fact of like niggas are take advantage of that shit and just start going crazy with it. Like, I was only buying them like once every month. Niggas go and buy that shit every single time they get money in their bank account. Like, god damn.
Let me tell you something, man. Collectors are insane because they're dedicated. I'll give them that. But listen, I for a long ass time, not for a long ass time. I would say maybe like 3 years. About 3 years because so from like 2017, like 2020, I was like an avid not Pokemon card collector, but I was an avid like y'all know like Funko Pops, like the little bobblehead shits like they sell like all the stores and stuff,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little boxes. So yeah, I was an avid collector of that up until like last year, and like I have like a big ass collection. That shit is like 300 deep, but yeah, I used to be. So those things are definitely obviously now I collect because I like a lot of them, but I did it for a long time. Like to try to like trade with people, maybe like sell to like resell and everything. People do not play with that shit. Like read the resale game. People who are collectors, they do not play with that shit because I started in 2017. I met even like a close, not like a close friend, but I met like a friend doing that shit like in pub. I was like in a Target. We like met. We were trying to like find the same like figure or whatever, like series of figures of the Funko Pops that were coming out because some of them like one of them like they're like $10 retail price. So one of them could be like a special like edition one, which could be like $40, $50. So I would go to Target like right at opening, so like you would go online, look up the item code, and if it says in stock, we go zoom into Target, ask the people in the fucking electronic section, hey, y'all got this in the back? They're like, bet, let me go back and check. So we get that shit, we buy our shit, and it was cool for like a whole year and a half, and then around like 2018, 2019. People were becoming fucking savages for that. Obviously, that's when the whole Pokemon card craze was going crazy, and the whole Funko Pop shit was going crazy. Bro, I cannot tell you how many times I've been in lines for stores for like these like collectibles and shit. Whether it's for something I wanted for myself or like to trade or if I'm getting it for somebody else to resell it or whatever. I can't tell you how many times there would be mad people there in line who are savages. When I tell you savages, I mean savages. I'd be at the front door at Target like 7 a.m. an hour before they open, 10, 15 people deep. As soon as they open the doors,
Damn.
I'll be like second in line. I'll be second, third in line. I get there early. I do my time. As soon as they open the gates, a whole 10 people zoom up until like through the store, cut all of us, go running all the way to electronics, and this shit is fucking madness. And there's been times when people have been fighting for like fucking figures and like cards and everything. Obviously, you have the whole shit. That's the whole reason Target stopped selling Pokemon cards, because people were fighting over the cards and everything like that. People were buying it out, and that's really how it is. Obviously, it's from first person, like from first person experience, I guess, for myself. People are crazy for this shit. And it's just like I had to stop because one, that shit costs a lot of money and to keep a collection, and it just takes up time as well. But people were just being crazy with it. People were like pushing, and I remember, I shit you not, I was in a fucking Toys R Us before they closed down, and there was this like special edition one. It was literally right there on top of the pile, like of the other collectibles. I was literally about to grab that shit, my arm in slow motion trying to grab that shit. Old ass man, like 62 years old, literally sees my hand going for it. He snatches that shit right in front of me. I'm
Oh
like,
nah.
obviously he knows what it was worth. I wasn't trying to get it to sell. I was trying to get it because I've been looking for that shit for like a long ass time. This just snatches it the fuck out of my face. Like, I didn't have it in my hand, but I literally, my arm was reaching for it. He was a fucking savage.
Should knock his ass out.
Yeah, absolutely,
Bro, like,
knock his ass out.
I am not going to jail. This dude was an old 62-year-old white man, bro. I am
And
6 foot, Mexican. Like, no.
Yeah,
Who's
you're right,
who's the cops gonna believe in
yeah,
that?
that's
Fucking, absolutely not, bro.
I concur.
But no, that I just wanted to tell that story because the whole thing with Pokemon collecting, and it just got way too out of hand for me because now everything gets sold out immediately. I used to be so good with catching, like, for example, the Funko Pop shit. Like, as soon as something goes live, I'll be in that fucking virtual line immediately. Now it's impossible to get a fucking Pokemon card, like anything. Even if you want to get it for your kid, you can't even do that shit because people
Hell
are
nah.
savages. And I mean, I know these trends die out and everything, but man, like collecting and like reselling and all that shit, never again, man. I gotta just say that for myself.
How you was getting money off of it though?
Bro, absolutely. You have no, bro. Depending on the
You have
figure.
no
Listen,
idea.
I'll admit, bro. I'll admit, yeah, of course, that was a past life. That was the past thing in my past life. Listen, I bought so many things. I made a lot of profit. I've let's just say I'm estimating. I've probably bought out of the shit I've sold, like that I bought maybe like I don't know, $300. Let's just say I bought $300 worth of those Funko Pops, whatever. And in profit, I've definitely made at least like $900, almost $1,000.
Damn.
Just from that 300. So that's obviously, a lot of them, they are very valuable when they come out immediately. Some of them are slow burns. Like right now, I have one that I got like 4 years ago that's worth like almost $600, $700 that I bought for like $25. So it's a lot of the long game, and it's a lot of fucking stress and ample money because once you get a little bit of money from reselling, you're gonna kind of want to keep going and going. That shit is not the wave. I was absolutely broke at one point, and I was like, fuck it, I want to sell all this shit. But yeah, that's basically how it is, bro. That shit is crazy out here.
Yeah, resale is definitely you either a hero or a villain over there. But I mean, now with the PS5s and shit like that, if you're a reseller, you got like such a bad thing omen over your head. Like if you resell anything, you have a bad omen over your head because the niggas that like buy the bots that cop 1,000 of them hoes immediately. I hate those niggas so much. Like any of those niggas.
Those guys are the real villains. I was talking like some of the time on Discord. I bought 2 PS5s and I sold one. Like I resold one and I kept one for myself. Bro, I got everyone in the damn server going against me, bro. Like y'all ain't saying shit to the dudes who are buying 500 of them shits at the same time. Like, come on, bro.
How are they getting so much damn money to buy 500 of them?
I have no idea.
And they're all $1,000.
I mean, shit came through
What
because
the
I resold my the other PS5 that I bought. It was like $800. So basically, the PS5 I got now, I basically paid $50 for it.
That's fucking wild. That's absolutely wild to me. I guess to kind of keep things on a lighter topic though. So I was on Twitter yesterday, right? Just scrolling, doing my casual scroll of Twitter because Twitter's probably my favorite social media ever. Honestly, like I don't really fuck with Instagram, TikTok kind of cool, but Twitter is just you never know what the fuck you gonna see whenever you go on Twitter. Went to the Explore page. I was like, okay, why is Lil Boosie trending? He must have dropped an album. Yeah, Atlanta usually really fucks with Lil Boosie. I live in Georgia. I live in the South, so I know the impact that he has on like niggas that live in the South. Obviously, clicked on him, see what his album name was called, and I just saw the most wild ass shit I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Like this nigga, this nigga Lil Boosie is really, he might actually be in love with Lil Nas X the way he's talking, honestly. I don't know if you guys saw the Twitter or the tweet that he sent out, but I'll try to find it and, of course, heavily censor the fuck out of it. But this nigga Boosie is going crazy. So, kind of give you some background to the story. Lil Nas X, I don't know if he was on an Instagram Live or posted a video on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. But he made this basically just walking, talking about to his fans and shit like that. And then somehow the subject of Lil Boosie got brought up. Lil Nas is kind of just like, yeah, me and him got a song coming out together soon. Stay ready for it or whatever. Just a little throwaway line that he said. When I tell you this man Lil Boosie went crazy on Twitter as soon as he heard that shit, it was just ample slurs. Like, I don't know. What do you guys feel about somebody that's just like overly homophobic? Because at that point, I think it's kind of telling. Like maybe you might be feeling some type of way about Lil Nas X if you swinging that hard to go against the nigga. I don't know. Like he's constantly talking about him.
I think he's gay. I don't know. I think he's gay.
I mean, he's like, there's such a thing as like being overly something to where you are that. Like if somebody say like the old fucking slave owners or whatever in the past. Like at that point, you're so overly racist against black people. Like you hate them to your core because you're jealous of them. Like that's the only way to explain it. Like you jealous of how they look, of how your wife is fiending over them. Like you gotta be jealous over the dude if you hate something that much. Like this nigga.
Yeah, he's just gay. It's either he's gay or he might just be jealous of his success. He might just be like mad, like, well, back in my day, we had to do this, and this, and we weren't popping like this dude. Now I guess Lil Nas X, like he just has the social media in the palm of his hand. Whenever you drop a video, he got people mad, he got people angry, and he's like he has all these what's it called deals. Like I saw him with Uber Eats with like Elton John doing commercials for them. He's been doing shit with Samsung, like the man popping. You know what he's doing. Like I said before, like that's what I always say. That's why I always say like the black community is just so sad because that's why I can't even vouch for that shit because we're always so divided. You think like Boosie? I'm not saying Boosie has to love everything Lil Nas X is doing, but he can sit there and go, okay, yeah, this is a black man growing up that is doing good. At least he's not on the streets doing some crazy shit. At least he's not doing any he's providing for himself, his loved ones, doing it all in a healthy manner. Safe manner. He's doing his thing. Respect. Like I say, he doesn't have to make a song with the nigga. He don't have to love the nigga, but he can give us respect. Simple. I just don't know why you can't. And man, like I was telling, we were talking about this too before you came. Me and talking, I was like what's gonna happen? Let's say one of his children grows up and is part of the LGBT. What are you gonna do then? And then Tucker was like, he's gonna kill that shit. I was like, oh my god. I really hope he wouldn't. But Tucker's not wrong though, because a lot of these like really homophobic parents or even racist parents or whatever the case might be, but like will like go to those crazy lengths to stop their kids from being LGBT or dating outside their race or whatever the case might be. And like then like you said, it really comes like, why? Like, are you jealous or are you closeted? Like, what is going on? Like, there's no reason why. It wasn't like he was just like like fuck Lil Nas X. He was saying slurs. Like he was going.
I have the tweet right here. So basically, Boosie was like, I'm of course gonna heavily censor it because I don't agree with nothing this nigga saying. Stop trolling me, F slur, LOL. You a whole bitch playing with the gangster. Shake my head. You can keep sucking dick and getting fucked in your ass. Peace and hate yourself. I would too if I was LOL. If I was you, LOL Nas X. If you commit S word, you would do this world a huge favor. Nobody wants you here. Yeah, that's just some real despicable shit, man. Like, nothing in this goddamn world should make you that fucking mad to say shit like that. Like, all this nigga said was me and Boosie got a song coming out, and this nigga went batshit. I've never seen a nigga get that damn mad. Over what? I've never seen that shit.
It's like I was saying to Jez before, like, like Jez was saying, what would Boosie do if, like, his child was, like, LGBTQ? And I was like, yeah, like, in this country, there's been people like, it might not be in the news everywhere, but I've definitely heard that shit, a few times where It could be like a kid like who comes out to their family is gay, or if it's like a trans kid, they come out as a trans, they come out as trans to their family, and there's literally, they're either whether it's the father or the mother, they will legit like, shoot them or like, dead them or whatever, and it's just like it's so sad because you say that, for example, the whole Boosie thing, like we just said, like, you say that, like, thinking it's like far fetched, but absolutely, like, it's not far fetched at all because this shit really happens because there's, obviously it's not talked as much in the mainstream, but like I know on Twitter there's definitely a lot of people who like be talking about like the number of trans people who like commit S word every single year. Honestly, it's like it's so alarming and it's so like sad because you know all this shit is happening, and just because of who they are, they're pushed to that limit where, they just can't take it anymore. It's kind of, um, I guess, in a sense, also like it's like relevant in the sense of, I know, well, we're not like necessarily like kind of off topic, but in like the new Dave Chappelle special, Dave Chappelle basically talks about his friend who was trans, and after defending Dave Chappelle on something, they got bombarded and attacked, by either if it was like members of the LGBTQ community and other people, telling them basically, bullying them, basically talking all that shit and just like harassing them and everything, death threats just for defending Dave Chappelle. And like 6 days later, they like S-worded themselves, and it's sad because it brings up a bigger topic of when it comes to people who want to express themselves, people who want to be free in who they are, like when it comes to their sexuality, when it comes to their appearance. It's just super sad to me because you have these hate-filled people like Boosie, like people who obviously Boosie was big, well, like in the early 2000s or something like that. So a lot of like the old heads, like whether it's in hip hop, whether it's outside of hip hop as well, just people in that age range, like from 40s to 50s and everything, who grew up, in like the 80s or whatever. Like a lot of them just are not tolerant to anything happening now within the they just can't keep it to themselves. Like not even if you have the most hate filled heart, like hate filled thoughts, sometimes you just gotta keep it to yourself. Even though it is very shitty to have those thoughts because what is someone's sexuality gonna do to you? Like it affects you directly. Literally, like not
Exactly.
like Nas X didn't even say shit about like Boozy likes me or like Boozy wants to. No, he didn't say that. He literally said me and Boozy got a song together. So just that affiliation of and like obviously any person in the world, what Nas X said was obviously sarcastic, but to Boozy that shit was like, that's like a like equal to saying him and Boosie had sex, something like that. Because that's just the way these people think. These like homophobes and people who just are just filled with hate. And yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything else to say because it is just so fucking sad that we're still dealing with people like Boosie, who obviously I don't want what like something like canceling is not going to do anything to fucking Boosie. Boosie doesn't give a shit. You can't cancel someone who doesn't give a fuck. So I mean, it's just sad because we all knew Boosie's homophobic and like he just said like the quiet thing aloud. Like we all knew he was feeling this shit. When the whole like other situation with Boosie and Nas X happened like a few months ago. It's ridiculous. It's sad and it's just disappointing that this shit keeps happening. And Boosie's definitely not the only one. There's definitely other people, whether it's in hip hop, whether it's outside hip hop, obviously, who feel this type of way and who are just silent about it. And it's just insane to me. Like I said, it's sad. It's it's disgusting. That's all I gotta say. Fuck Boosie.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck Boosty, a nasty ass nigga. I just like what in your right mind? Not even just like saying any of those words. That's just such a like knowing that it's a bad word to say and that it offends a lot of people. Like we're just so constantly against people saying like anybody that's not black saying the N word. So why would we go or not we of course that nigga? Why would he go and say something that's just as bad as that? Like offending millions of people that identify as gay. Like why would you say a word that offends gay people? And then this is so much other stuff that he said in the paragraph was just fucking like he is like what is wrong with that nigga? He said some crazy shit.
No, I mean a lot of black people. Like I know people personally, like friends I've had that like it's like I guess they just try to compare oppression. Like it's like an oppression war, and like well, black people have been through so much, and like slavery and things like that. So our oppression is more. So the N word specifically with the er at the end is more of a slur than the F slur, or more of a slur than one for Hispanics or one for Asians and stuff like that. I'm like, once we start getting into that territory of comparing oppression and comparing, just hardships, then we're not getting anywhere. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If we're talking about that, then it's like, as I know a lot of black people hate to hear it, but Native Americans are oppressed the most, because this is like they're not like. Native Americans are so like non-existent to the point that people forget they even exist. Like there's still Native Americans in America on reservations and things like that. It's just that they're so little because white people, and they just rip them apart. But Native Americans are the most oppressed and really need the most help, even more than black people, I would argue. But I'm not going to argue that. I'm not trying to compare oppression. I'm just saying, like, some black people are so prideful in oppression with their own oppression, they just think it's okay for them to say certain things like that. That's not even taking account intersectionality, about how black people and LGBT is intertwined. There's black LGBT members. So even if you want to sit there and be like, oh yeah, being black is more oppressed than being part of the LGBT. What about the people who are black and part of the LGBT? What about them? You're still offending them just the same. Intersectionality. So it's just
comparing oppression might be the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. I mean, the thing is, like, how are you gonna compare two words that are hurting people like all the same? I'm pretty sure there's been some people that committed S word off hearing that word if they're gay. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that committed S word after repeatedly hearing that word if they're black. I mean, if people are equally offended by their own respective words that people are calling them, then you can't compare that shit, because it's an evil word nonetheless. You can't compare two evils because they're both evil. Like, there isn't one that's less evil than the other. Like Boosie, it gives you no right to be saying anything like that to anybody that identifies as anybody in the LGBTQ. That word is just, why are you saying that shit? This nigga is just like, there's no reason for him to even contemplate saying that shit. Like, I don't even see how he's able to type that out, hit send, and then still be happy with himself, because he still sent like 25 more tweets after that, and some of them probably just as bad as that one.
Yeah, that's what we know what kind of timing he's been on, but it was like just like he was like, it was like what the like, I thought someone hacked him. Like I was like, what the like, I know like we know he's homophobic. It's not even about that, but it's like, what the fuck, like the slur, like he hasn't used that to this point. Like that nigga was going crazy. Like why? Over this nigga just saying, oh yeah, we made a song together. He could just like, shut the fuck up, you bitch ass nigga. Like it's like, okay. Whatever. He's been doing that shit. But like, really, that multiple tweets. He was talking about like telling this man he doesn't need to be on this earth. Like, basically telling him he should like commit the S word. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was saying people would be happier without him here. Like, you should never in a million. Even besides the slur, you should never tell anybody that. Like, don't tell anybody that the world would be happier without them on this earth, because that's not true for anybody. I don't care who it is. Like, no. The world is not going to be a better place with the absence of somebody being here. Like, that nigga's just, I mean, he's just evil. We already knew he's a homophobe, but now we know that nigga is just an evil-ass person. And, of course, he's already rich and he's already famous, and he has a fan base that basically agrees with everything that he's saying. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to be affected in any way, unfortunately. So he's going to continue saying stuff like this. He definitely received backlash from all of Twitter yesterday or the past couple of days, but his fan base literally will probably like put him on a pedestal even more now that he's openly like that.
Yeah, Twitter don't. Because that's what you said. Canceling is not even anything. I was thinking about that, so like he's gonna get canceled now. Like, and I was like, that doesn't matter. I don't think he's even big enough to even have like brand deals and things like that for that to matter. Even like monetary, like I guess like money wise or whatever. Like he's just rich and popular because like his old stuff. So he's still probably like living off that, have royalties and things like that. Maybe he produces for people or owns like a label or something.
like club appearances and stuff like that too. Probably.
Yeah, he's not big off of like brand deals and stuff, so that don't matter. Like when David Dobrik got canceled, they took his brand deals and stuff. Like it doesn't measure up. So if he can just do whatever he wants and not have to worry about a thing, but let's get off this nigga because that shit just hurts my brain. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, fuck this nigga. I guess the last time we can kind of go over. I want this thing to be on all streaming services. So I'm sorry we can't sit here and talk for hours and hours, but they got a limit on what we can upload, unfortunately. So I'm going to tackle a little bit the what y'all feel about Logan Paul versus Tyson. Apparently that's like soft confirmed right now. Tyson came out and said that if he is gonna box again, he will only do it for nothing less than $14 million, and he will only fight Logan Paul or Jake Paul. What y'all feel?
He said their names, like he said,
he said I will only fight them.
So. Why? Oh, that's crazy.
Because they're the biggest thing in boxing right now, and they're backpacking the entire sport. Unfortunately,
that's true.
I think it's to be expected, honestly, because I'm not sure if you guys follow Tyson that much, like right now or like the past few years, but Tyson's very.
We mean Mike Tyson, by the way, not Tyson Fury.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. So he's very into the whole social media thing. Like I've seen him on different podcasts. I don't know if he's been on Logan Paul's podcast. Like it might have been like another YouTuber's podcast, but he's been on a few podcasts just talking about like a lot of like basically pop culture, a lot of like the social media shit like happening today. And it's been like I haven't watched all like the clips and everything like that. I've just watched like a few things, but definitely been like insightful just to see where he's at. And obviously he knows what he's doing, because if he calls out the Paul brothers by name, obviously one of them are definitely going to want to fight him.
1 billion%.
Whether it's for clout, for money, or just to to say, oh, I fought Mike Tyson, something like that. So it works out for the both of them. It works out for Mike Tyson because he gets. I wouldn't say he's irrelevant. I would just say he's obviously not as popular as he might have been. Obviously, he's not fighting. He's like retired and everything like that. But I guess not. But obviously, it makes sense for him. It makes sense for the Paul brothers. Whether it's Logan or Jake that he's going to fight, and it's just going to be another one of those, Mayweather versus, Paul type of joint. Going to have a fight. It's going to be kind of ass, but at the end of it, we're just still going to be talking about that for a week or whatever. And it's just another one of those things. I think it's a smart move from both of them. Not necessarily just for money wise, but obviously the notoriety, like the coverage, the free press, and yeah, it's just more of the mind of the Paul brothers, and the geniuses, the media, the social media geniuses that they are, and they're gonna win big no matter what. No matter who wins or loses, it could be no contest, whatever. They're gonna be rolling in the fucking green.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think it's more. I look at it more like this: how different they're doing. Like we said, Jake is like the evil brother, while Logan's like the good one. If we're comparing it to that, but we see how like Logan's trajectory is. Like Logan's not fighting anymore to prove anything to him. He's just fighting for like this. I wouldn't say for money, but he's just fighting for like entertainment. Like he's an entertainer now at this point. Like he's just because Jake is trying to prove himself. Like, oh, I'm an actual boxer. Logan's like, fuck all that. Like he's fighting Mayweather. Like win or lose, I'm fighting Mayweather. Win or lose, I'm fighting Mike Tyson. I'm fighting legends. Like I can lose, cool, but I still fought with them. I fought with them. Jake, on the other hand, is more like I actually want to prove myself to the boxing community. Like I'm an actual boxer, so let me go fight, actual people and beat, these UFC people and beat these boxers and prove to them I'm an actual boxer. So it's cool to see that. Like I guess the difference where like one's like, nah, I'm just trying to, I guess like build fame almost, while the other one's trying to build reputation. So it's interesting to see that. Like, I mean, like we said, we're still gonna watch. I mean, like I said, like Mike is pretty old. Not saying like he's washed or nothing, but he's old and he's retired. So I'm not expecting too much out the fight. Just probably just something entertaining to watch on that night. So we all come in here, just have a good time, see what happens. It'd be interesting to see but how like fit Mike is and his age and stuff. I know he's been training, and I know he had a fight with some other dude around his age a while back. So it'd be interesting to see what if he comes in there and just knocks that nigga out. I mean, I wouldn't think so, but it'd be kind of cool if Mike still had it like that. Honestly, cool to watch, but we'll see.
If anything, just to kind of close off the topic, Logan take the fight. Jake, you continue on what you're doing. I'd much rather see a Logan that don't really care about it fight the Tysons, the Mayweathers, stuff like that. I actually kind of want to see Jake continue to win and seeing how far he could take this thing, because I know people will instantly get uninterested as soon as he loses. So don't take a fight that, of course, you're gonna get your ass beat. Like, I know Mike Tyson is old, but that's still Mike Tyson. Like, y'all are not touching that nigga. Like, I literally just saw a video like a couple months ago, and that nigga like punching something. He still has it. He's still Tyson, of course. Like, that nigga did not change whatsoever.
So here
Yeah.
come the comments. Who's Mike Tyson?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
y'all don't go on
Oh,
Google.com.
old heads. I'm like, bro, shut your dumb ass up. But they go, Logan, you go fight him. Jay, continue. I think he's supposed to be fighting Tommy Fury next, which is Tyson Fury's little brother. Hopefully Jake wins that one. I'm basically only rooting for Jake just to see how big this money trajectory can go. I want to see who his biggest opponent will be. I want to see where he kind of levels off at. If he wins this Tommy Fury fight, then it's literally gonna be nothing but tens of millions after that, because he beat somebody that's actually like a really respected boxer. Of course, there'll be the niggas saying that he faked the fight or whatever, but fuck those niggas. They're gonna say that. They're gonna say that regardless of who he fights at the end of the day. I mean, I think they kind of expect Tommy Fury to have a little bit more morals than the people he has fought, since he's like in a fighting family. Like, the Furies are literally like real life Olympians, Greek Olympians, like, cause they were raised in fighting. They fought the entire lives. Like, their dad was also a boxer, and he made them do nothing but box as well. Like, those are some fighting ass niggas. What we've seen with the Tyson Fury versus Wilder fight, he beat the brakes off that nigga. Set us back a couple of years, only a couple though. It's not like
That was his bro. That was his older brother, right?
Yeah, that's his older brother.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, this about to be a good fight then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's already confirmed that they're fighting. I don't think a date's been set yet, but they're for sure fighting. Logan, you take the Tyson fight. Let's go ahead and get the fuck up off that. I really am excited to see both those fights. So I can't wait to spin that with y'all.
I want to see that Jake one. That's gonna be interesting. I didn't know that.
We'll definitely be buying that on pay-per-view. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Allegedly. Yes, sir.
Just to kind of close out the podcast, I'll let this be the last topic, just so I can get this whole thing on there. Big Sean is gonna diss Kendrick, and then Big Sean's gonna beat Kendrick. But this has been the Here and Now podcast. I'm glad we all agree that Big Sean beats Kendrick in that rap beef. Hold on, let me of course I'm trolling. Let me go ahead and clear up my whole thing against Kendrick, because apparently a lot of niggas think I just hate this nigga Kendrick and don't want him to succeed whatsoever, and they just think I think he's trash or some shit. So I'm gonna clear up right now what I feel about Kendrick Lamar. This is really a topic that's kind of just reaching. Basically the whole topic was Big Sean posted this picture of him and Bees. Kendrick has been saying for like the past couple of years, nobody say Candyman or else I'm coming after you. So we kind of got into a discussion about whether Big Sean even meant that as him saying Candyman, and if Kendrick will even diss that nigga back. It's kind of a reaching topic until, of course, it progresses. If it progresses, we'll for sure 1,000,000,000% talk about it. Unless you guys have something to say about it, of course. I don't want to step on y'all.
I mean, I would. Thing is, after looking online, I just didn't care anymore because no one else is talking about it. I don't see anyone else saying, "Oh, he has bees around him, so he must be talking about Candyman." Like talking about Kendrick. You're the only one I've seen that says, "Oh, he's talking about Candyman."
I mean, you literally said it in the Instagram live. Since
I know.
music.
Like, even after that, no, I have not seen anyone say like, "Oh, he's trying to diss Kendrick." I haven't seen that yet.
No, they said it on the Joe Budden podcast. Like, they all four said it, and they have like millions of listeners.
I haven't seen it because every time I see like a Big Sean post or like Big Sean himself post, I'll go look through the comments. I don't see nothing about Kendrick. I see a few Candymans, but like even people are just replying to him like, "Oh yeah, the B is so funny." But like I don't see no one saying, "Oh, he shouldn't eat." Like, when is Kendrick gonna dish you back? When is Doc gonna dish you back? I haven't seen anything like that. I didn't know Budden even did that.
Yeah, they all four said it. Joe Budden basically was like, that's him saying Candyman. They agreed, and they kind of got into a discussion whether or not Kendrick would diss him back. That's kind of where I got mine from, is him saying that. And then I looked deeper into it, and I was like, oh shit, he is posting pictures. He is saying Candyman on Instagram Live with him laughing, and the whole chat saying Candyman and putting bees and shit in the comment section. So I'm kind of on the same level with y'all. Kendrick probably definitely won't respond to this nigga, but I wouldn't be as surprised as y'all would if he did respond, because like I said, he has responded, or he has dissed Big Sean in the past. Of course, Kendrick is on a different echelon. Of course, Kendrick is the better rapper. Of course, Kendrick makes amazing music. I just hate whenever niggas put that nigga out like he's just like completely 1 billion% like nobody should even come close to even saying his name at all. Cause like anybody in the world can be touched. I don't care who it is. If you're the best boxer in the world, somebody can definitely put their hands on you still. If you're the best street fighter, there's somebody gonna be better than you. There's always better than somebody. Like he's still amazing. He's still top tier. He's still the best in the rap game. But like he can definitely still drop trash sometimes. I respect everything Kendrick does. The Heart Part 4 probably my favorite song by that nigga ever. I love that fucking song so much. I just don't put that nigga on a pedestal like most people in the rap game do.
My thoughts on this whole Big Sean situation.
The fuck is that Drake?
Yes,
The hell
right.
was that?
But,
Yeah, that's Drake.
Goddamn podcast.
Just that you hate Kendrick. It's okay. It's okay.
Man, end this
I
podcast.
literally just said I didn't hate that nigga. I love Kendrick. I just
Taco
don't
hates
put him
him.
on a pedestal.
Taco hates the music, so I'm not trying to hear that nigga at
That's
all.
television. That's
So,
hates Breaking
y'all
Bad.
are making this seem like if Big Sean and Kendrick start going back and forth, y'all wouldn't be interested.
Nah,
Not
man.
really.
Y'all know if Kendrick dissed Big Sean back, y'all would be talking about that shit all day.
Hell yeah.
Okay then, all right. That's all I
don't-
want niggas to admit is that it'd be an entertaining thing. Because
I
Big
would-
Sean, no matter how much niggas say that he's bought whatever the fuck niggas say about Big Sean, he's still a formidable a little bit opponent. Like he's still talked about in good rap.
So, like,
Nah, I didn't even care about Drake and Kanye. Like I don't like. I just want
Oh,
these niggas.
they were just being stupid.
I mean, that was like nothing. Like, I mean, yeah.
I could care less. But if Kendrick dissed somebody, anybody, he would break Twitter.
Yeah, I listened
That's
to
all
it.
I'm trying to say.
I listened to it, yeah, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah. I hope they keep going. It's just always so corny to me.
Man,
nah,
I
feel
love
you.
rap beef.
I feel you.
Drake,
I
Pusha
hate
T,
that shit.
Drake, Meek Mill, that nigga dropped Charged Up and then back to back. That shit was probably the best music that dropped that year, and that was a good
Like,
ass year for music.
Like Drake, Pusha, and Meek Mill was cool because like actually good
Not
music came.
back to back, not Charged Up. I'm just saying he also dropped that.
So I'll give it that. When good music comes from it, like they pushing each other to like the upper echelon. Okay, I respect that. But it's like some corny shit like fucking Tory Lanez and Jordan Lucas. Get that shit out of here, man, please.
Yeah, nobody cares about that nigga. I'm just saying like if not of course Big Sean's not a GOAT, but if it was a Kendrick versus a J. Cole sparring with each other, of course like obvious shots towards each other, it'd be a whole different story. Like this nigga can be touched, and I just want people to realize that he can be touched. I'm not a Kendrick hater. I don't hate Kendrick music. I love Kendrick music. I don't put him on above everybody else like that.
I respect that, I suppose.
All right, y'all. We need to get this on streaming services. So I can't make this shit an hour. Whenever we find something, if you guys got any suggestions in the comment section, if y'all have something that can like let us upload longer videos than just an hour 30, let us know. Even push an hour 40, I might have to cut some out in the beginning. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast today. We had a lot of fucking topics. We didn't even really get to dwell that deep into the Alec Baldwin thing, but we still talked about it a little bit. I definitely had some stuff I had to say about it, but I guess we'll talk more about that. That's one of the cases that's going to last a while, so we're going to get a chance to keep talking about that for a while. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This has been Jez. This has been Taco. This has been myself. What the?
What the fuck was that?
I
What
don't know.
was that? Who did that?
You're horny. You're
Sound like two
horny.
coyotes having
What?
sex. I don't know what the fuck that was. But all right, y'all. This has been the Here and Now podcast. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Hey, what the fuck? Okay.